Now, prototyping has had a crucial role in all of the activities of the Japanese Creative Lab Party. Next up, we're going to hear about the importance of this prototyping in both the creative production process and also in Party's business strategy. So please welcome now to the stage two of the founding partners and creative directors from Party, Kanta Shimizu and Masa Kawamura. A round of applause, please.
Right, hi, everyone. Great to see a lot of people here for us. Thank you so much. First of all, I kind of have to apologize a little bit. We originally intended to bring all the 4 partners here, but one is still judging the mobile lines, and then another is in Nevada shooting in the desert, so we couldn't bring him over. So it's just the 2 of us, but hopefully we're not going to be giving you like a half presentation. We hope we could give you something to take back, something meaningful. And before we start, maybe we could just show a quick reel of our work and go into the presentation. So, Kanta-san.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That was kind of our short reel of what we've been working on. So quick introduction about our company. So I'm Masa, and this is Kanta. And we come from a company called Party. And what we do is that we consider ourselves to be a creative lab. And we have offices in Tokyo and New York. And what we try to do is we try to prototype communications of the future. So that's what we finally start to realize what we're trying to do at our company. And, Sorry. And in order to do that, we try to experiment in combining storytelling and technology, because I think both sides are very integral in order to create, a better communication. And to do that, we always work in a unit of tech directors and creative directors, and so that's who you are. Kanta is our CTO. He's my tech director partner, and I'm the creative director, and we always try to work together with the balance of the right creatives and the right technologists. And I think that's the only way we can produce work that is engaging, but also innovative in the sense of the ways we communicate the brands. And if you could go to the next slide. So in the past 2 years that we've been around, we were able to produce about 70 different projects. And it's quite impressive knowing that we're only about 20 people in staff. And I think we're only able to achieve this because we always work with the philosophy that we think and make together. So there's no middle person, there's no actually account directors in our company, and we're all creatives. And I think that's the way we kind of keep our speed, our agility to kind of be flexible in terms of the changing briefs and the changing technologies that's happening every day. And also to kind of maintain the kind of integrated design quality throughout the campaign. There's so many different mediums that you could use right now. It doesn't really make sense to bring in separate teams for different kind of mediums. It feels like there needs to be someone on top of everything in order to create a strong communication. So today from here, we'd like to share you some of the work that we produced and also kind of ways we prototype that. And along with it, we have this sort of 3 philosophies that we think about when we work on all of these prototypes. And it's quite important in everything that we do. So I hope it's going to be useful for you guys as well. So please, Kanta-san.
Okay. First is this, product, not ad. Everyone's been saying this for a long time, but people don't listen to ads anymore. Brands can just shout messages at people and hope that they will listen to them. Instead, we should create an entertaining branded experience or something useful. Or more so, we should try to create the product itself which speaks for itself. And this is the first sample I'm going to talk about. This is at first, we wanted to create a new entertainment on the web, which demonstrates the power of Chrome browsers on both PC and mobile. So by using WebSocket, WebGL, and Chrome's new tab sync feature, we created the content named the Worldwide Maze. It's a game where you can turn any website into a 3D maze and play it using your smartphone. Please watch the video.
To demonstrate the power of the Chrome browser on both PC and mobile, we created the Worldwide Maze. By using WebSocket, WebGL, and Chrome's tab sync feature, we created a game where you can turn any website into a 3D maze. You can play this maze with your smartphone. Simply connect Chrome on your PC and mobile with tab sync. Then search for any site you want to play. Once the site is transformed into a stage, control the ball by tilting your smartphone. Use elevators, jump to take shortcuts, and collect items as you go. You have 3 chances to reach the goal. Points will be given based on the time and number of items you picked up along the way. You can share and compete scores with friends. As a result, Worldwide Maze became a huge buzz in global press and social media, and drove Chrome usage on both PC and mobile, allowing millions of people to experience the internet in a whole new way.
Thank you.
This was an experiment that transforms web browsing into entertainment. The openness inside the idea of any site becoming a playground felt like the right match to what Google is trying to do. And I'm going to introduce the next project. This is the 3D photo studio called Omote 3D Sushenka that we started ourselves. At the studio, you can come get your body scanned with a 3D scanner and make your own 3D figurine. Please watch the video. Okay. Thank you. This is a project called Omotiterative Sushenka, and these are yes. These are actual figurines made by this service, and this is Martha's, and this is I. And so we began this project as a prototype of a business of the future. It's simply combining existing technologies such as the 3D scanner and 3D printer. People have always had a desire to capture special moments in life, such as graduations, marriage, etc., in the form of photographs. We thought it would be cool if we can do it in 3D. Very simple. And these are photos of the studio we had open in Harajuku, the Tokyo district, for 2 months. And we exhibit the figurine of the famous people, or yes, exhibit like that. And the next, there were, of course, difficulties along the way to start a service, but we felt it was more to do with the business model rather than the technology. The system to fix the 3D data, the distribution of the fragile 3D models, etc. And we learned a lot. The project was a huge success, and we are still receiving many emails around the world asking to use our system. And following the success, now there are many copy business happening in Asia, like them, and some are really well imitated, using the same process, similar videos, and price range. We are sad to see all these copycats, but actually feel good about seeing this business model spread. As we said earlier, we are trying to make a normal business of tomorrow. And can you talk about the next topic?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Thank you, Kanta. So as a recap, the first point is that we not only try to create communications in the traditional sense, but I think we're more and more shifting towards creating business models, services, and the products itself. And I think that's definitely one direction for companies like us and other agents could head towards. It's more about owning IPs and creating products using our ideas that we have. So to the next point that we want to talk about, it's about make new ways to make. It sounds very zen. I sometimes sound like a Yoda when I talk about this. But we really believe in the fact that if you want to create something different or something that you haven't seen before, you need to actually make it in a process that you've never seen before or done before. And I think it's something that we tend to forget, because when you're in a company structure, you tend to kind of stick to the efficient process or the useful process that you're used to be working in, and you don't take adventures. But while you're doing everything in the same way, I think it just kind of puts a cap on creativity. So what we try to do at Party is that we try to figure out if there's any ideas that we could put into the creative process itself. So it's not just about how we write the storyboards, but it's more about, okay, how can we make this differently? And to make my point, here's a picture of a famous painting in a cave called Rascal. And I think from what I just said, I think these guys are the most innovative kind of designers that we had in mankind's life. These guys are fucking creative. If you imagine, they didn't have any tools. They don't have like After Effects. They don't have Photoshop. They had to find sticks. They take it, they maybe stuck it in tar, and then started scraping these cowls onto the walls of the caves. And so again, they were the first guys to actually create tools that they needed to design. And I think that's very important. And and not just using that simple stick. Maybe those furry things on their heads. Maybe they noticed that they can't make it with sticks, so they started to pluck fur, and maybe they made the brush. I'm just making this up, but it's these things that I feel it really innovates the way we create things. That's something that pushes things forward, and I think there's a lot we could learn from the ways these cavemen, really drew these pictures. I'm not saying like go out and pick up sticks and draw things on the walls, but we have technologies like the 3D printer. We have technologies like Arduino and processing. There's so many of these new digital tools that allows us to create our own tools to design. It's not just about printing, something you find on the web and, giving it to your child. You could almost create new tools in producing things. And not just the tools, but we can also apply this kind of thinking into the ways we work as well. This is a picture from the Industrial Revolution. And I know that we don't work like this anymore, but again, there is a sort of process in each of our companies that we tend to stick to. And there's so much more freedom in the ways we work using the technologies that's available. For example, there's Skype, there's Hangout, and there's GitHub, and all these technologies, even Google Documents. It allows us to collaborate in so many different ways now. That's actually creating a new process of making things together. And also, just thinking about Vimeo and YouTube and all the video platforms, that's allowing us to share work in a totally different way. We never had that, before, but we now do. And so, why aren't we making use of these technologies? Isn't there a way to use new tools, new mediums, new technologies to change the way we make things and create things? And just to give you an idea of how we try to put this into practice, I want to show you 2 examples of our work. Hi. The first one is a music video that we made for a band called Androp in Japan. It's called The Bright Siren. And what we did here was we actually brought in 250 cameras. We created this huge camera wall. And each of the cameras were hooked up to a strobe, which we control through a computer program. And with that, we made animations out of light just using strobe. And I'll tell you why we came to this idea and why we did this after the video. So please have a look. Thank you. Thank you. At Party, we take on a lot of music video projects. One, because we just love music, but we're so shit with the instruments that, the video is the closest we could get to becoming a musician. Another is that, it's very similar to getting kind of advertising briefs in a way. In those circumstances, you get a brief, you get, from the client, but in music videos, you actually get the music, the lyrics, and the titles, and that's what we kind of work off of. So a lot of the videos that we make is really closely integrated with what the song is singing about. And this time around, it was all singing about memories. It was about the song of memories. And the title was Bright Siren, so we wanted to do something with light. So immediately we thought, like, well, you know what if we could use cameras in an interesting way, because that's a device to capture memories. And then, okay, how can we combine lights to that? And then, it sounds quite easy, but, well, then cameras, lights, it's strobes. So from that, we had this crazy idea of putting together this wall. Initially, we were imagining about 2,000 of them, which we could never find around Tokyo. So we ended up with 250 cameras. And created this. But starting from this wacky kind of idea of what if we could create light walls out of strobes, now we have the ability to really prototype and test if we can see this is feasible or not. So we went in to our lab and built like a simple kind of experiment with 3 cameras and Arduino and open frameworks, and it worked. So technically, we thought that we were able to achieve this, and we presented to the band and the label, and they liked it. And at the end, we produced this work, and I'm kind of skipping a lot of the journeys that we went through. It wasn't as easy as it sounds, but again, I think I want to stress that there are ways of bringing these crazy ideas to life now, and it's not about putting in $1 billion to the project. That music videos don't have that much budget, but it's all about the DIY technologies that we can use to create things that you haven't really seen before. So the next example we want to share with you, which has an interesting kind of making side to it, is called the Sperm Visualizer. This was a campaign for a music channel in Japan called Space Shower TV. It's kind of like MTV, but it only plays Japanese music. And they wanted us to create a campaign which plays along with the line, music saves tomorrow. So again, we really looked into the line and immediately thought, well, tomorrow to us is sort of about children. Can we use children in our ads? But then, my mentor's face just came up out of the clouds and said, Masa, don't use kids in TV ads. That's boring. So we took it one step further and we thought, well, if kids isn't that fun, can we, actually go back and use sperms in our ads? So we actually made a TV campaign and a website that uses sperms, which dances. So please have a look. So that was on national TV. Yeah, quite fun. And then we also made a website where you could choose any music you like, your favorite track, and have the sperms kind of dance to it, as you've seen in the TV show. And that's why we call the whole campaign the Sperm Visualizer. And then the interesting thing is that you could have it dance to your favorite track, and you could share it with your friends, of that clip. So you could create almost like a customized dance sequence of the sperms. And I know you're asking, okay, what's so different? It's supposed to be about make things differently. Like, how did you guys, what's different about it? It's all like animation, this stuff. So this is where it gets kind of interesting. And we actually looked around while we were producing this. And then, or actually when we came up with the idea. And then the staff that we had were all guys, right? So I was like, well, what if we could actually scan our sperms and motion capture it to make the animations? Would it make it look more realistic? And everyone was, okay. And so we did. So we actually collected our sperms, we brought it to a biolab, we microscoped it, and then motion captured. And this is kind of the video, the behind the scenes, which is not like you think. Yes, a huge round of applause to our children. Well. So that's, to make kind of recap on the point, it's all about kind of making things different, trying to figure out different ways of making things to achieve something that you haven't really seen before. And another interesting learning from the last bit that you saw with the dancing sperms is that, if you make things interestingly enough, that kind of behind the scenes can also add to the story of your whole kind of content. If it was just the website or the TV commercial, I don't think it would have caused enough buzz. But then because of the fact that we went that extra step and actually, went to a biolab and all that jazz, I think that's what enriched the whole communication. So I think there's different, things that we could do in the process which could definitely add to the shareability and all that. So passing the baton to Kanta.
Thank you. And I'm going to talk about third and last point. And the third and last point is fuck innovation. As you've seen in the previous slides, we use technologies in everything that we do. That's why we always remind ourselves of this phrase. A common mistake is to think your work is innovative by just using the latest technology. Or more, why do we need to even bother if the work is innovative or not? Let us share a quick story. One day we were called into a meeting with a huge Japanese TV broadcaster. And they told us that they want to create an innovative TV show that no one's ever seen before. All they wanted to know was how they can integrate social media, how to create multi-screen experience, how to control projection mapping from your mobile phone at home, etc. We turned down the job because we felt awkward that they weren't interested in a fun TV program, but kept on wanting an innovative TV program.